I'm Chaz here with Board Game Geek, and I'm joined by Luke from North Star Games, and we are going to dive deep into Oceans. So show me how Oceans works and what it's all about.
Okay, so Oceans is the next game in our Evolution line. It's a complete standalone, right? Because obviously the ocean ecosystem is not like the land ecosystem. So there's some different mechanics to the game. So people who are familiar with Oceans are really gonna, there's gonna be a lot in here that's familiar to them. But there are some differences. For those who are new to the Evolution system, you can obviously start with Oceans. On a high level, it focuses more on the card interaction than traditional Evolution. So in Evolution, you had card combinations, but there are a couple traits like Scavenger that would trigger when a carnivore attacked, right? In the Oceans, there's a lot of cards that trigger off other actions, right? So it's much more circular sort of feeding system. So we put more the emphasis on the cards. We eliminated body size. Another major change is everything in the ocean starts as a carnivore. You actually have to play a trait to become a non-carnivore, unlike regular Evolution, right? So there's some more food manipulation. So you can eat from certain, you eat from the reef, but then instead of playing a trait, you can move food from these different zones to the reef or back, you know, depending on what you want to do. When a food gets depleted from a certain area, it triggers this scenario. So you know, if you're familiar with the climate version of Evolution, so you have climate cards. When you hit a certain area, it would trigger a card. This kind of works in a similar fashion. It changes how the game is played once that happens. So this is your species board. You notice there's no body size. And in Oceans, you only become extinct if there's no population on your species board at the end of your turn. So even if somebody else on their turn attacks you with their large giant fish, you don't go extinct until the end of your turn.
So you have that chance to recoup.
We have streamlined the game process, so now there's no turns, you just play. You just start playing cards. Your turn, you play one card, and you feed one species. That's why you need these traits that allow you to combine actions when you feed, otherwise your species will die off. The other factor in this game, which is new, is you lose population. Every species you have at the end of your card play loses one population to old age, and it goes into your bag. So that's how you get your points. So if you eat a bunch of food in a round, you know, you can slowly die of old age over time and not have to worry about feeding that species again. So there's a lot of kind of cool differences in how you deal with the food. You know, it's not like you eat, I eat. You know, you really have to sort of plan your traits accordingly and when you feed certain species. But you also have to worry about defense because I said everything is a carnivore in the ocean. So someone could say, for instance, play an apex predator. And because of that number there, that's how much food they're going to take from you when they attack you. So, and they actually take that population from you and move it to their species. There's 12 core traits in the game, which like in Evolution you don't have to pay for. They're all balanced, et cetera, et cetera. We've added this really cool deck. It's called the Deep. And there's 100 unique traits in here. There's only one of these traits in the game. Right? And you have to pay for these. So if I want to, you know, start a feeding frenzy, which is a singular action, I have to pay 5 food out of my food bag. So I'm losing points.
Out of your bag.
Right. To do this action, this feeding frenzy, which allows all of my species to eat. Or I can actually play a trait like an extremophile. If, you know, for instance, some of these, so you have an apex predator here, but if you wanted a superior apex predator, you could play that card. And again, you have to pay for it. If you wanted to have an extra row of teeth, now an apex predator with an extra row of teeth would eat 7 population off of somebody else's species, right? So it can get really nasty out there in the ocean. Or you can turn into a giant squid, right? So there's a lot of really like wild stuff in the Deep. That are unique traits.
You said there's 100 cards.
There's 100, So
that's excellent.
So that's some of the new stuff in the game. So it's got some climate effects. It's kind of a more aggressive ecosystem, but at the same time, there's so many different ways to get food that you don't feel as bad when you're attacked because it's just a lot more of that going on. So it's The art is fantastic. So we have 12 traits here. We got 100 traits there. So there's all sorts of amazing art. And if we can see on the, it's on the back of the box, but you see these tentacles here. If you'll turn the box around, you have a kraken on the back coming out of the deep and just like wreaking havoc. So
nice.
We're going to be kickstarting this on the 26th
of March.
Yeah, runs for a month. And for retailers out there, we have a retailer level as well that they can back it through distribution. So yeah, I mean it's a fantastic game. Maybe about $50, something around there. So look for that on March 26th. And that's Oceans.
That's great. Yeah, Evolution. My daughter is 12, and Evolution is her favorite game. And it's really exciting to see that Oceans is much more than just a reskinning of Evolution. This is lots of different mechanisms and concepts at play here. So,
it's definitely some new stuff.
Yeah. So thank you, Luke, for coming in and sharing Oceans with us. So keep an eye out for it on Kickstarter, and we'll talk to you again soon.